All right, let's see if we can go live. We're live on YouTube. Uh, let's see if we can go live in Facebook and get this challenge started. Let's see what we're going to do here. Facebook is not allowing me to go live. Why is that? Why am I not going live? Okay, that's not working. I'm going to try one more thing. Try one more thing. Mhm. Okay, let me go live. Where? Okay, technology. Let me go live. Let me go live. Let me go live. I don't want to go live in my group. How do I go live in my group? Here, try this one more time. All right. Having a hard time Facebook or YouTube trying to figure out how to go live here. Shouldn't be that hard. Shouldn't be that hard. But it's day one, so anything that should be easy to do is probably more complicated than it ought to be. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. Dot, dot, dot. I'm not sure why I'm getting two posts. This is the Live and Die by Technology. Interesting. All right, so there's always a way around. There always so here we go. I'm gonna go live in my business page, and then I'm gonna port it over to my group page. That's how we'll do it. Okay, so we should be live in the business page. And let's see if we can port that over to, let's see if we can port that over to the group page. Okay, yeah. Yep, we can port that over to the group page. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Share, 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 no, share more options. Share to group. Okay, now I'm able to share it to my group. All right, let's get this popping. Post. All right, good friends. That took me much longer than I ever imagined to get going. And I apologize to my Facebook folks, my YouTube folks, my Instagram folks. Never would have I imagined. But here we are. We're gonna make lemonade out of lemons, as they say. I'm your boy, 100 pounds down, 100K up, Earl McCray. And in this next 45-minute segment, this is day number 1 of my 5-day challenge on the, I call it Effortless Evolution. Effortless Evolution. Okay, when I'm looking here, talking to you, Facebook. When I'm looking here, I'm talking to you, YouTube. And in Effortless Evolution, I basically have the 3 pillars. I call it Effortless 3 evolution that I am effortless evolution. I am focusing here, talking to you, Facebook. First pillar looking here is the pillar of health. The next pillar, effortless evolution, is the pillar of wealth. I basically have and 3 pillars. I call it final effortless 3 evolution that I am effortless evolution. I am focusing here, health, talking to you, Facebook. First pillar here, and I got my emotional well-being of health. And so that's my effortless evolution. That's what I am trying to do today. And all right, that makes a big difference. I was sharing screens, so I'm all over the place today with technology. I do apologize. Part of it is the butterflies of doing something for the very first time. You want to make sure you're doing it right, but sometimes it's not right. So we drive on. So kind of got a couple slides that I want to pull up, and although I'm a teacher by vocation, I don't really need slides. I can just speak from the heart and have it genuine, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to forego a lot of the slides, and I'm just going to speak to this. Hey fam, nice to see you. So me speaking from the heart, the reason I wanted to do this 5-day challenge is I wanted to let folks know that where you are today doesn't mean is where you're going to be on tomorrow if you choose to evolve. Now, there's all kinds of evolution. I'm going to speak to my demographic. We are in that group, that area where relationships may have been with someone for multiple decades, and maybe y'all have gone your separate ways. You evolve. You brought your kids up, and your kids went to high school, went to college, they're working, they're no longer in the house. Well, you evolve. You've been working a job, and maybe that job, served you in your 20s and 30s, but it didn't serve you and you went and you got something else because you developed a different preference. You evolve. So the idea of evolution, is we are a work in progress. It's not over. It's not over until we're done. And so as we go through life and we experience contrasts and we experience things that we like a lot, and we experience things that maybe we don't like so much, the goal is for us to just simply hold tight and understand that it's absolutely natural, absolutely okay for us to evolve in terms of what our interests are today and what our interests are going to be down the road. And A lot of it has to do with those three pillars I talked about: the health, the wealth, and the emotional well-being. So here's how I'm going to hit it. I'm going to talk to you guys today from the standpoint of health. Probably I'm going to hit health today and tomorrow. I'm going to hit wealth, because you guys know I'm pretty deep into this Airbnb passive income, and I want to share with as many people who have an interest. And then I'm going to end with the emotional pillar. So we're going to start with health, then we're going to go to wealth, and then we're going to go emotional. And I am going to say, I'm a Christian. I follow the practices of Jesus Christ. I'm a spiritual person. Not all spiritual people are Christians. All right. You may worship someone different from me. That doesn't elevate your spirituality, and it doesn't diminish mine. I think as long as we understand that we have a point of convergence, and everybody is seeking to be in alignment. I'm going to use the word source energy. Everybody's seeking to be in alignment with source energy. And when you are in alignment, man, the world opens up to you. Everything you touch turns to gold. Your relationships are good. Your money is right. My man Jamal, all right, my brother, I made it. Amazing content. All right. Thank you, big brother. One of my real estate brothers is chiming in. And when you're in alignment with source. So I want to talk to you guys about some of the obstacles that people have when they are trying to come into what I call alignment with spiritual renewal. The first thing is, we are a spirit. I want to kind of get that out of the way right now. We are spirits. We resonate with a frequency. We are vibrational. We are spirit, and we're living in a human body. And if that's woo-woo to you, I may not be your cup of tea, because I understand that when we transition, when we're no longer here, based on how we live, what kind of frequency we were at, what kind of vibration we gave off. Did we make people feel good when we walked in the room? Or when we came into a space, did we bring people down? Whether your energy is high or low, when we transition, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just say this. It is important, if you want good relationships, if you want good finances, if you want good health, you have to have your spiritual connection in place sooner as opposed to later. What are some obstacles? Time constraints. People are trying to fit God, source energy, into their schedule instead of doing the opposite. Fit your schedule around source energy. Fit your schedule around the person who makes all things possible. Whether you call it infinite intelligence or universe, that's not something that I need to define for you. Time constraints. That is a big factor. Earl, I would read, I would study, I would meditate, but I just don't have time. I don't have the time. Well, let me share with you. In this short 30-minute time frames, I want to get the timepiece out of the way. If you are interested in 2xing, 3xing, let's go there, 10xing yourself as an individual, you got to master your time. And when I say master time, is when your work, be working. When you play, go ahead and play. And it sounds easier said than done, but it is vital. It is vital that you do it. Myself, how I fit my world around source, around God, is I make it a point. My first meeting of the day, my morning meeting of the day is with the Father. My alarm goes off. It's dark. It's always dark when my alarm goes off. In fact, I want to say this differently. My alarm doesn't go off because my internal clock now wakes me up. Some of you guys will figure this out. When you start your journey, when you are in momentum, I don't like to use the word grind because sometimes it's misinterpreted what I mean. Things shouldn't be a grind. Things shouldn't be hard. Things shouldn't be, there shouldn't be pain. But you should be in momentum. You should be in momentum. And when you're in momentum, that's right, Jamal, mastering time is mastering oneself. Absolutely. When you're in momentum, you don't need an alarm clock. You will get up because your goals and dreams are so big and so robust and so delicious. You just gonna pick yourself up and get moving. So before my tribe gets up in the morning, I'm up. I'm studying, I'm praying, and I'm meditating. I do those things in those three orders, in those three positions, because I know time will get away. Time will get away quickly. All right. What am I studying? Look, I'm going to tell you guys, there are so many amazing apps that you can put on your mobile. So many apps that will allow you to spend 10 magical minutes in the Word studying. All right. And then these apps, some take it to another level. My app will have me studying, and then it has me writing down my wish list for my prayers for my people. I have a prayer for my wife, a prayer for my sons, a prayer for my church family. I have a prayer for my family, and I have a prayer for my business. And then this app is so amazingly dope. It will revisit my prayer every 30 days to ask me, was the prayer answered? And oh my God, guys, the Lord we serve is so amazing. Every time I write down a prayer request on that app, within a 4 to 6 week time frame, my prayer is answered. The app allows me to keep score. Oh my God. It's such an amazing opportunity. When you have an attitude of gratitude because everything that you put out to your Father, everything you put out to the universe, he answers and he stands on his promises, you're unstoppable. There is nothing you can't do if you put your mind to do to it. So the time constraint, that issue of spiritual awakening, I hope I've taken some of that away from you. Time should not be an issue. Go to bed a little earlier, y'all. Turn the TV off. Look, I don't knock anyone who unwinds with the television, but I'm too old for that. I recognize I got more time behind me than I have in front of me. So every minute counts for me. So when I say at 9:30, I shut down. Why? Because I'm up at 4. I'm making that time. I'm making time a non-issue as I try to get my spiritual awakening in. Distractions. Distractions, another obstacle for many people as well. Guess how we address them? Get up before your tribe gets up. It's a distraction-free environment. Listen, when I get up at dark 30 hours, the birds haven't even started chirping. I'm in a distraction-free environment. So after I get my study on, I get my prayers in. All right. And then it gets real good to me because part of my spiritual peace is my meditation. See, I'm going to create a mind movie I don't believe in putting all the work on God, putting all the work on Jesus. I got to do some work too. So in my mind movie during my meditation, whatever that thing that I'm seeking, in my mind movie, I experience going through the task and killing it and attaching the emotions of how my peers and how my family interacts with me after I complete the task. It's not that different, y'all. I don't know who your favorite athlete is. It's not that different from when they get into their mind movie and they're making that last buzzer winning shot in their mind before they ever hit the court. So they have a level of swagger. They have a level of confidence. They have a level of understanding, self-realization. Absolutely, bro. You on it. All right. That's my man right there. Jamal, he's living it. He's living that entrepreneurial journey. And as entrepreneurs, if we can hold it in our head, we can hold it in our hand. Those mind movies are so important. All right. So we talked about that spiritual, our distractions, time constraints, done. Distractions in terms of people around you, biting on your time, that ringing phone, that crying baby. Get up before your tribe gets up. Lack of guidance. Lack of guidance. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all. Um, we talking about evolution. I was the naive one, and I thought that church happened in a building. Oh, absolutely not. Church happens in the individual. Anytime two or more gather, the Spirit is among you. So what I'm going to tell you is this. You don't have to get all of your guidance from a man or a minister or a set of traditions. We are living in the best time in the world if you want access to information. You just got to go out and do your work, do your research. There is so many opportunities for you to seek guidance on getting into your spirituality. You just got to go ahead and put in some work. Put in some work. All right. And I'm, this is not the forum for me to tell you, what's truth and what's false. What I'm here to tell you is this. What a man thinketh and what a man believes becomes their reality. I'm gonna drop this off. This is a bonus. If you have a family member who has a cancer diagnosis, and I can speak to this has happened to me, and the doctor is less than optimistic, you fire that doctor and you get another doctor. Because whatever that physician puts in the patients in terms of their belief system, that belief system has the capacity of either taking them to recovery or taking them to the grave. What a man believes, you guys know what a placebo is? The placebo effect. There's an author that I absolutely will encourage you to invest some time reading. Joe Dispenza. He has a number of books. One of the books I got into was called Becoming Supernatural. And he talks about that we have the ability of the placebo being so powerful that the body repairs itself. Yes. Neurogenetics. I want to make sure I said it in correctly. I'll do my research. But the idea that the mind is so powerful, whatever we believe, our body will act in accordance. So if you believe your marriage is doomed, you're going to get that outcome. If you believe that your marriage can be saved, you're going to get that outcome as well. It's about the belief. We do this so often with young people. I'm not going to beat too much up on the teachers on today. I'm a teacher by training. I'm gonna serve that up probably tomorrow, day two. We're gonna talk about how the teachers um, are creating a generation of compliance, non-creative, non-innovative young people who are just basically conditioned for the factory. We'll talk about that in a moment. Um, Other obstacles of spiritual awakening, skepticism. Lord, people doubt. People have questions about spiritual concepts and they hinder their willingness to practice. All I can tell you is this. I have to believe that our God, our spiritual connection it's so big, it's so powerful, it's so infinite. You should be able to access him no matter what continent you are in, whether you are in America, China, or the deepest recess of a third world country. And irrespective of the name that we're using to identify him, I'm just in that evolutionary space that God is bigger than the names we use for the religion. And I think sometimes we put so much energy pushing against one another, standing up for something or standing up against something else, that we don't recognize the beauty that we all have in common of that focal point. All spirituality is about loving creator, loving source, and source wants us to love ourselves. And by us loving ourselves, oh, this is getting good, we love our fellow man. So this spirituality is about relationships, everybody. That's really what I'm trying to say. Your number one relationship should be your relationship with your creator. When that's in alignment, then it's your relationship with who you are as a person. You got to love yourself, warts and all. You got to have self-worth. You know, we talk about being vibrational. The higher you have your vibration, the more of the positivity and the love and the satisfaction you're going to bring in. And as I said on an earlier live, for all of our married folks, if you've been in the game for a little bit, all right, this is going to help you. If my goal is to make my wife of 3 decades happy all the time, I'm going to miss the mark 95% of the time. Here's why. Just like the name of the challenge is called evolution, my wife has evolved. She's not the same girl that I met when she was 21. She has changed. Her preferences has changed. What she likes has changed. And if my goal is to make her happy based on where she was those many years ago, I'm never, look, my goal is this. I'm going to make my wife happy because I put in the work to make me happy. Because I'm not competing against anybody. I'm competing against myself. I'm trying to always get better. I'm trying to always improve. I focus on what have I gained. There's an amazing book that I would recommend. It's called The Gap in the Game. And the goal of the book is for you to understand, as entrepreneurs, as people who are trying to evolve, we always look at where we gain the incremental progress that we've made. We don't look at how far we're away from the goal. That's the gap. We look at the gain. We look at where we started and where we are now. And if that doesn't give you worth, oh my God. And because you have worth, the people around you that you spend the majority of your time with, they feel worthy because you are attracting like particles attract like particles. So the way I make my wife happy is by me being in alignment with my source. And now I'm happy. And I'm gonna do all those little things that keep the honey on the moon. All right. But the idea is a non-conditional relationship. There's no conditional love here. I'm not gonna love my wife if she does what I want when I want it done. No, no. I'm gonna love my wife even when she's unlovable. Why? Because I love myself. Why? Because I love my creator. That's that relationship. That's that relationship. Now, look, I want to also just drop this off to you as well. Some of the other challenges that people have with spiritual awakening. All right. I'm going to read them off to you. You tell me what marinates with you. And you just put something in the chat if this is something that you struggle with. Materialism, stress and anxiety, ego. Oh, I love ego. Fear of change and past trauma. Past trauma. You know, I have a business partner who encouraged me to man. I'm just giving all kinds of recommendations today, but this was near and dear to me. They encouraged me to watch this movie in the box office. It's called Freedom Song. Freedom Song. I'm gonna double check with my wife to make sure that it's a movie about child trafficking. This was a tough, difficult movie for me to watch. To see at one point the one liner that took my breath away. It said that this is much bigger than a drug game. See, when you're pushing dope, you sell that dope one time. But when you're pushing kids, you can sell that child 5 times a day for 10 years. Oh my God. Past trauma. My business partner, we're good. We're good friends. And when she told me that she had been trafficked, I'm not sure if that's the right way of saying it, when she was a young girl, my heart went out. Like, how do you overcome that? And when you as you try to overcome those types of things, where's the role? Where's your spiritual connection at? You know, how do you reconcile that? And I simply kind of hang on this idea. And this was a part of the movie that I'm recommending everybody go see. God's children are more valuable than any money. And God put people, places, and situations in everyone's lives for us to have an opportunity to show love. What does that mean? That means that, you know, if you're dealing with past trauma, there is a very interesting opportunity depending on where on the spectrum you are for you to either use that trauma, turn that pain into purpose. This is what my business partner doing. She's a member of a number of organizations where she helps people who are going through that, because she has that as a point in time that has defined her, but it has not diminished her. I want to say again, that point, that trauma has defined her, but it hasn't diminished her. You never forget. And if you can use that pain and turn it into purpose and impact other people, I think God smiles when he sees these things. And it is an impressive, aspect about my partner. Now, the other thing that we talked about as we slowly wrap up this live in the next 10 minutes is that the other real big thing, obstacle, if you will, that keeps people from spiritually connecting is the ego. Is the ego. EGO. It stands for I'm sure someone can put it in the chat. Tell me if you've heard of this before. EGO stands for edging God out. Edging God out. Edging God out, guys, is not something that I would encourage anyone to do. Because when you edge God out, there's so it's all about you. Edging God out means that your thing is more important than his thing. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Edging God out means that it's all on you. There's some book, there's some scripture that I could go into, but what I want to encourage everyone to think about is this. There's levels of evolution. When you're a baby, there's dependence. As you get older and in the young adult stage, we go through something called independence. You guys remember those days, right? When your kids didn't no longer listen to you. In fact, not only did they not listen to you, they argue with everything that you said. And then hopefully as you got, you evolved and got into another season of life, and maybe you got married, maybe you didn't, you evolved into the highest level of interdependency. Well, with one another, with people, we should be interdependent. Absolutely. We shouldn't be dependent. We shouldn't be independent. We need to be interdependent with people. But here's the challenge. We ought not be interdependent with God because God don't need us. There's nothing we can do. We can't, there's no grace. There's no works that can cover God's grace. And that's where the ego comes in. If we're like little babies and we will just be dependent on God for all of our needs, we take look, people ask me, how is it you losing weight and we don't see a bunch of workout videos? We don't see you, in the gym. Guys, the way you deal with weight, the battle is not fought in the gym. The battle is fought in the kitchen and in the mind. See, look, I can eat as many healthy food meals as I possibly could create in my wife's kitchen. But mentally, if I'm in a fight or flight mindset, if I'm in survival mode, that stress hormone will never turn itself off, which means I will never be able, no matter how many sit-ups, how many push-ups, how many vegan meals I eat, I will never be able to lose the fat and build the muscle because it's hormone based, because of the stress. So we combat these things in our mind. We combat these things in our mind. So as I leave you guys, I want to refer you guys to our homework assignment. So one of the things that make a challenge is the participation piece. This is a unique challenge in that being that this is my first one, I haven't really gotten the technology on point yet. I'll have the technology down shortly. But what I'm going to encourage everybody to do is to make a video. It's a homework assignment. I want everyone to make a video, and I've posted in the Facebook group a video of what the homework assignment looks like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to play the video so you guys can hear it. See if I can find it. All right, I found it. Okay, here we go. Stop talking. Oh, actually. All right, I think here it is. I found it. Your health, your fitness, your physical, or your emotional well-being. I'm going to start as an example of something that you might struggle. Like and deeply grateful as I witness the transformation of my physical and mental well-being. As I stand before the mirror, I'm in awe of my perfect radiance of physicality. It's a reflection of strength, vitality, and grace. A testament to the power and foundation of my life. My body is in a state of optimum health, effortlessly maintain the perfect. I want you guys to look at the homework assignment that I placed inside the Facebook group, and it says homework assignment day one. And I want you to either, be engaged and create your own intention for your health. Because we talked about the spiritual piece today. That's what we're talking about tomorrow. We're going to talk about health, because your health is your wealth. And so many people have told me that in so many different ways. I'm just going to believe them. What does it profit a man to have a 100K in assets, but be on a respirator and not be able to experience any of the deliciousness that God has given us access to when we think about the blessings and the beauty of this planet? All right, so that's it. I'm gonna wrap this up. I want to see you back this time tomorrow for day 2 of Effortless Evolution. Your homework assignment is to look in the Facebook group and write down your physical renewal intention. As always, you got this. God loves you. Take care.